Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to harvest Azolla, as you can see behind me, clean it and also dry it and show you the process that happens when you're feeding your commercial layers with Azolla. Welcome and I hope you enjoy the video. Are you looking to transform your commercial layers farming by cutting down feeds cost while boosting egg production? Imagine harvesting 4,000 kilograms of high-protein, cost-saving Azolla every week, just like Mr. Peter, a farmer who has cracked the secret to sustainable and profitable poultry farming. Today, I'm sharing his exclusive insights on how Azolla can revolutionize your farm, from growing and harvesting to feeding strategies that enhance egg quality, and this is the ultimate guide you've been waiting for. Mr. Peter has a pond sitting on half an acre piece of land where he harvests 4,000 kilograms of Azolla every week. The farmer has discovered that the secret to feeding commercial layers to increase productivity lies in the Azolla growing, harvesting, and management process. So, how exactly does this farmer use Azolla to facilitate high egg production at a low farming cost? The process begins with the growth of Azolla. The aquatic plant requires three major elements to thrive and produce effectively. Number 1 is water, 2 manure, 3 shade from direct sunlight, and 4 Azolla seedlings. I always recommend using cow manure to prevent scorching your Azolla due to the high ammonia content in chicken and rabbit manure. However, Mr. Peter boldly went against my advice, fertilizing his ponds with chicken droppings. Despite the risks, his ponds now thrive with a lush, evergreen carpet of Azolla all year round. But this success did not come on a silver platter. The farmer experienced critical episodes of red, pink, and brown Azolla before discovering the correct balance between manure, shade, and water. You are probably wondering, what procedures did this farmer use to overcome all the challenges with chicken waste? First, the farmer added 8 sacks of chicken droppings in the pot to fertilize the water for Azolla. When he told me that, I knew he was in for trouble, but I was curious to see how extensive the challenges of using chicken waste can go. After all, the results are always visible within 2 weeks. Did I say his pond is 2 or 3 plots long? Given the vast length, the farmer had a beautiful scenery in the first month after planting. However, as fate would have it, it started turning red in the second month. And at this juncture, Mr. Peter understood the problems associated with chicken manure in Azolla farming. Nevertheless, the farmer loves experimenting, just like I do, and I encourage you to test things out on your farm too. Anyway, Mr. Peter did not just give up on his cow manure. After all, with more than 8,000 commercial layers dropping waste every second, why would he buy cow manure? He decided to work around it, and with a team of enthusiastic and highly motivated workers, they removed the 8 sacks of manure and added 4 fresh ones. Did I mention the pond has tilapia, crabs, shrimps, and lobsters? Do you know what that means for the pond? The Azolla is not only getting nutrients from the chicken droppings, but also from the waste of these aquatic animals. Anyway, after reducing the manure levels, they have managed to maintain a green pond week after week, despite the scorching sun. Before you get excited that you can now use chicken droppings in your ponds, let me remind you of the importance of covering your pond from direct sunlight. Azolla thrives best in a warm place since it multiplies faster. However, it dies away at the direct sunlight. But alas, Mr. Peter ni nani? The farmer went against all odds again, exposing his pond to direct sunlight. When I posted his green Azolla in my TikTok account, Farm Girl, my colleague and trainer Mr. George told me that this pond was exceptional. Indeed, when I first visited the farm, I was shocked to find that the Azolla is still green while sitting under the direct sunlight. Anyway, on my second visit, the Azolla had turned red, and this was the time the farmer decided to reduce the manure quantities. But tell me, how easy would installing the shade net in this pod be? What about the cost? Y'all agree that this farmer needed a more cost-effective and less laborious concept to overcome this challenge. After trying different alternatives, he realized that if you harvest Azolla frequently, you will not have challenges with the direct sunlight. So, he added the harvesting frequency from once to twice a week. And since then, the Azolla has been enjoying the goodness of the sun all day long, but only for 2 or 3 days in a week. This way, he harvests quality protein-filled Azolla all month long without having to enact a shade. Ideally, I advise Azolla farmers to change water from the ponds after 6 months unless there is a severe effect of algae. For Mr. Peter's pond, it was a quarry before, and therefore, water runs superbly deep. By the way, his team cannot go beyond this section they are harvesting from because that would be a death case. That means the farmer cannot change the water as frequently as we encourage, and he cannot control how much water is in there as well. These aspects are an advantage for his Azolla because it acts as though it is in a natural habitat, thereby regulating algal development on its own. The vast depths and the fish available in the pond help to keep the algal bloom low, and therefore no need to change it as frequently. With these pond management tips, Mr. Peter now harvests approximately 4,000 kilograms of Azolla every week. Let's dive into his harvesting process and the state in which he feeds his Azolla to chicken. The harvesting process this farm has adopted ensures that the 8,000 commercial layers produce at 98% rate, and eggs have an appealing yellow yolk that you can easily confuse with those of kienyeji chicken eggs. The process involves collecting Azolla from the pond, washing it thoroughly 2 times immediately after harvesting, removing all the roots, and drying it before mixing with feeds. The farm workers use pond water to wash Azolla for the first time. Washing involves rubbing the mature leaves against their hands thoroughly to separate the Azolla seeds and roots from the leaves. They also use nets to separate the Azolla seeds and roots and ensure that the Azolla does not flow back to the pond. After the first and second washing, they transport the Azolla to the processing unit where they wash it for the 3rd time. After that, they rinse it until all the roots are separated from the leaves, and then they spread it with nets to dry. When spreading, they ensure that the layers are thin enough to encourage fast drying for about a day or 2 depending on the intensity of the sun. The workers then collect the dry Azolla and pack it in sacks for further processing. This is now the juicy part where they use a pelleting machine to pellet the Azolla, which helps dry any remaining water. The pelleted Azolla can last for more than 3 years, making it the most effective way to store excess Azolla. As a layers chicken farmer, it is wise to note that the amount of Azolla you add to the chicken feeds will determine egg production frequency and the color of the egg yolk. It will also determine how much you can save in the total cost of feeds used per block. Similar to Madam Josephine of Nurdi Kirathimo Farm in Nakuru, Mr. Peter also makes his commercial layers feeds at his farm. You can check Madam Josephine's video from the link above if you haven't watched the video yet, and see how she uses Azolla and super napier silage for pigs and poultry. At the beginning, Mr. Peter's farm workers could add any amount of Azolla to their feed formula, but customers started complaining that the eggs were too yellow. Thus, the team had to examine the best balance for their commercial layers chicken. Therefore, they started using it as an alternative to egg yolk premix. The alternative helped achieve a better egg quality and yolk color compared to using the premix. After saving the cash used to buy the premix, the team is currently working on the exact protein content farmers should use to reduce more than 50% feeds cost in commercial layers farming using Azolla. Azolla can be used as a whole food if a farmer gets the good quality energy foods from maize or wheat. Therefore, Let us wait for the plans and the executions and the experiments to work, then we shall share the details before the results are out. We know that Azolla can be used to cut down feeds cost by 30 to 50% if you're using it as the main source of protein when you make your feeds at the farm. Additionally, you can reduce the feeds cost by cutting the normal feeds by 30% at first and using the Azolla to compensate for the reduced amount. From here, you reduce the feeds gradually to compensate to 40% until you achieve the 50% mark. Mr. Peter has experienced these benefits, leading to high egg production and a flow of customers daily. Did you know that if you utilize Azolla, you do not need to worry about fluctuations in prices since you're using less money to produce the eggs? Furthermore, you can make more money due to regular egg production, ensuring that you always satisfy your customer egg demand around you. How, you may ask? The yellow or orange-like egg yolks enhances the tastes of your eggs, differentiating you from regular commercial layers farmers. The concept will help maintain and attract new customers as they seek to taste your mouth-watering and highly satisfying eggs from your farm daily. I know you have learned a lot from this video, and if you have any other benefits that you have found from using Azolla as a source of animal feeds, you can share in the comment section below. If you also would like us to visit your farm to come and share the details with other farmers, you are welcome, and you can contact us from the phone below, 0714 186 270. Let's keep communicating. Do not forget to share with your fellow farmers so we all enjoy low farming costs. Until next time, keep enjoying the informative videos on my platform, and until then, bye.